If you think I'm all positive all the time, let me be the first to dispel that notion. Spoiler alert, no, no, no-y, no, no. I am not always positive. There is no special can of positivity I'm opening up or have with my morning cup of coffee or tea. Sometimes I gotta work for this positivity. It's not always innate. I became this way, and so can you. Let's talk positivity, how you can choose it, even when it doesn't choose you. By default, we are all beings of good and love. Anytime we are disconnected from goodness and love, we feel it in unhappiness, anger, fear, even the aches and pains in our bodies. You get it, all the negative feelings that you don't want to feel. They are truly just a sign to you that you are disconnected from your true self. In the midst of doing all the things, you can do all things and chase your dreams. Stay encouraged as we go on this journey called life, tackling everything that comes our way while we shine our light despite any circumstances we face. No more downplaying or dimming your light, because through the good, the bad, and everything in between, together we can encourage over everything. If you're thinking I'm all rah-rah and consistently throwing confetti, trust me, that's as true as me doing a series of jumps and stunts. Matter of fact, I'm exhausted just even thinking about it, and I swear I'll be injured if we even keep talking about it. As much as I am my own biggest cheerleader and favorite hype man, some days it's a struggle to channel my inner Diddy and dance my way through my own videos. Let me just say right here and now, no, I'm not always positive. I'm not always anything because I'm human and feeling many arrays of feelings and emotions, sometimes all at once. But thank goodness for the inner work that I've done. All this self-development has led me here, where my standard operating system is positivity. I didn't come from this place. I worked my bum off to get here. Every day I'm putting in the work to stay here. Some days it does come easy, and other days I'm holding on with the Vulcan death grip, honey. And yes, there's even an emoji to prove it. Brendan Burchard teaches us to bring the joy, and even says we have to summon it. Joy isn't always on tap, and neither is positivity. Sometimes we have to dig way deep down in the jungle, deep, just to pull it out to the surface. There are days positivity chooses me, and when it doesn't, I choose it. When I'm not carrying my pom-poms, I know exactly where they are. Ready? Okay. You are worthy of self-care every day, not just on a Sunday. Join the email list and I'll send you all the deets in the Encourager's Insider Guide to Self-Care. Get my easy DIY tips for simple ways to make self-care a part of your daily routine, plus some bonus goodies. And if you need more help incorporating self-care into your world on the regular, I got you. You can join right on the blog or go to theshow.encourageovereverything.com/self-care freebie. You'll be on my VIP list to get encouragement and so much more sent right to your inbox. Join me on my quest to make self-care the norm, because you deserve to be a priority on your own list. As a mindset coach, I love helping you take your mindset to another level, especially if it's got anything to do with spying out the good in terrible situations so you can remain hopeful instead of hopeless. I love sharing my own experiences because it's through my own self-improvement journey and the work that I do actively every single day that's made such a huge difference in my own life. I absolutely can't get enough of seeing it happen and come through for you. I coach myself too because shoot, I need it. I even love sharing the aha moments and ways of breakthrough that I've helped others to have. It brings me such great joy to share these ideas with you, to spark a mindset shift in you that elevates you so much higher. It's in these ideas I share with you places to start and invite you to try something new that will inspire you to find your way to move for yourself towards who you truly want to be. So if you consider this to be a bunch of woo-woo, then I say, Alexa, play some Jeffrey Osborne, the You Should Be Mine song, or better yet, the woo-woo song, because we're about to level up for you, boo. To know me is to know my life happens in music and movies. So if you just had an old school flashback, you're welcome. I'm always here for you with a good reference. And if that one didn't give you that old school vibe, stay tuned as maybe the next song reference is just for you. Being positive isn't just about living in some fantasy world or some perfect world where there are no problems and everything's wonderful. There's no negativity. From what I know, that doesn't exist unless it's in heaven. So since we're still here on earth, we're going to have to experience some ups and downs of life. It's just the way that it is. Being positive isn't about being this perfect person either. Someone who never yells or loses their cool and handles every situation perfectly, never judges or does anything wrong. We are all beautifully flawed in some way. If you're kicking it with me, then you want to focus on your development by setting your sights where you can make the most change, and that's within your own self-improvement. Being positive is choosing to operate from this place because you know the alternative isn't what's best for you. Or maybe you were once like how I was and you tried it the other way and realized it doesn't have to be that way, and you're ready for another way. By default, we are all beings of good and love. Anytime we're disconnected from goodness and love, we feel it in unhappiness, anger, fear, even aches and pains in our body. All the negative stuff. It's all the feelings you don't want to feel that are truly just a sign that you are disconnected from your true self. We get hardwired with a default system, and sometimes it's because of the circumstances we grew up in or someone we modeled, all of these different things that really do create this huge impact on the way our default system is set up that causes you to either see things through a lens of negative or positive. And, we see it because even if you just look around at some people, like we all know them, somebody who is the grumpy Smurf who always sees only the negative in everything. They have a list of complaints with no solutions, and they don't have much positive to say about anything. Or the positive Patty who you think can only be that way if they own something. And positive Patty would say, yes, I'm high on life. So whether you find yourself at either end of the spectrum or somewhere in between, we all have a default system that we operate from. My old default system was quite a negative one. And in all honesty, for most of my life, I didn't even recognize it. And, I'm not so sure that anyone would have said that about me, but I didn't realize it within myself until after my mom passed away. Before then, I complained a lot about work and my love life. With work, I had a gripe for everything, and I could spend hours complaining about why I was still single. I didn't realize that these beliefs and stories that I created were driving a lot of the reasons that I complained in the first place. Once my mom passed, I didn't even have it in me anymore to complain. I was unable to see how blessed I truly was because of all the negativity that clouded my judgment. Without her, I realized I didn't really have anything to complain about. All the trivial, meaningless things that I gave way to no longer held any value. And, looking back, life was great when she was physically in it. And with the pain of her transition, it really forced me to see I didn't want to waste another second on things that did not matter. I was even a little sad that she wouldn't be here physically to see me be really happy. But I know that she's with me spiritually and happy with the continued evolution that I'm embarking on. Without that energy or desire to complain, I grew more of a desire and need to just feel good. If you've ever gone through anything that caused you deep sadness for a long time, you can probably relate. I just wanted to fill myself up with as much positivity as I could and live life to the fullest with such a greater appreciation and reverence for life. And there was a part of me that wished it wouldn't have taken me to lose one of the most important people in my life to actually arrive at this realization. As negativity took time I can't get back. It took my energy and happiness. Yet at the same time, there is a larger part of myself that is ever so grateful for this awakening. My mom had such an impact on me my entire life, and even her death has had just as much significance and impact on my life. I believe in divine timing and nothing happens by accident. What has been the catalyst that has led you here to want to have this shift? What has actually been that aha moment or set of experiences that has caused you to want to make a change within your default system? I encourage you to journal about that, as you may discover some incredible insights there. You may have been born with or socially impacted by some nouns, the people, places, or things that have shaped and molded your default system. But just like my favorite E40 says, everybody got choices. You get to choose your default system. You don't have to be hardwired by outside influences. You can be hardwired by your own internal influences and how you want to be as your best self. Let me just pause right here to just acknowledge this may be uncomfortable for you to even consider, but that's the beauty of me being a mindset coach. I want to stir something up in you and really just get you to thinking, consider some ideas. Let's stretch what has been the norm for you, because let's face it, you are different than you used to be. You've been living some life, and now here you are with these new perspectives and insights and experiences that opened you up in new ways you may not have even been prepared for, but here you are. So challenge yourself to explore that twinge of discomfort or excitement, as there is something there for you. Your default system may not have always been positive, but you can change that. You may not have always been an optimist, but you can change that. Just like they used to tell us when we were kids, you can be whoever you want to be. You may not always feel positive, and that's okay. You don't have to be all the time. You're human, and you should experience the full gamut of feelings. I encourage you to try positivity, even if you feel it's never really given you a try. Don't we just love being chosen? It feels so good to be picked, hand-selected, out of the masses, above the rest. That all-inclusive VIP kind of experience. Chosen. Then on the flip side, not being chosen doesn't always feel good. Sometimes it's the things outside of us that happen and cause you to feel some type of way. And then we allow that to drive our emotions and feelings. Like maybe you weren't chosen for a job or promotion you went for, or the person you'd been dating a while ghost you. It's as if your emotions and feelings are chosen for us based on our circumstances or situations. Something happens, someone says or does something that sparks your emotions, then boom, here you are feeling some type of way. Living in this out of control or reactionary place is not the best or most ideal space to operate from. When you allow your emotions and feelings to be determined by other people or things outside of you, those things, those people control you. leaving yourself just out here, vulnerable and subjected to their mercy or the lack thereof, will have you wide open to someone else imposing their will to suit their needs and run you, instead of you processing your emotions, determining how you feel, and what you'd like to do with your feelings. This is an area I'm heavily still working on. Praise the Lord. But bringing in awareness and really devouring those details of what trips you up, and then setting intention on how you want to show up and putting your plan in action is key. For me, when I have hiccups in my most important relationships, it trips me up major. I love my people hard, and I don't like it when there's beef. I start feeling like Mr. Wong in Norbit, like, you trying to make fight at wedding? I'm ready to handle it so we can get back to the good times. Of course, it's not just up to me, and it may take some time for us to actually get on the same page. So in the meantime, I used to spin my wheels overthinking and replaying it on repeat in my mind. I noticed this pattern and realized it just stalls me. Procrastination, distraction, galore, not focused on what I need to be putting my energy and efforts towards. So what happens for you when you start procrastinating or get distracted? What series are you binging? What are you putting in your Amazon cart just because virtual shopping takes the edge off? Or are you a busy worker where you start sifting through emails? I had to ask myself, how can I avoid these pitfalls? What can I do if I find myself procrastinating or distracted? How can I skip the problem and go right to the solution? It's that level of awareness that brings it to your attention, and now you can actually decide how you want to handle it, respond, or react. Now that you recognize the pitfalls, the caution lights are flashing, and you got your high beams on in this fog. So what solutions can you put in place that you can rely on? Finish these sentences. When I procrastinate, I fill in the blank. When I'm distracted, I fill in the blank. Do you scroll social media for what you think will be a few minutes, but then turns out to be a few hours? Or do you call so-and-so, that one person that you're like, well, I didn't want nothing, but I called. What I really wanted to do is skip the procrastination, distraction, and not allow rifts to distract me from my purpose, my mission, focus, or happiness. What is that for you? Is it listening to your favorite podcast? Hint, hint, you're already right here. Or is it putting on your favorite playlist? Get moving on a walk or whipping out your journal so you can work it out on paper. Identifying what I can do. I don't have control over the other person. They may never see things my way or truly understand my perspective. Maybe the best that we can do is just all agree to disagree and figure out how we move on from here. But it's really about knowing yourself well enough to know what sets you off, triggers you, or gets you off track, and defining how your best self will handle it when you find yourself in those what happened was type of situations. Friends are a reflection of who you are. It's like a mirror into your soul. So if you don't like what you see, I invite you to explore that next level you that you can actually be proud of. For additional support with these topics and to work with me one-on-one, get your free strategy session by leaving a review on your favorite podcast platform. Take a screenshot and DM me on Instagram at Encourage Over Everything. Let's design a plan to eliminate the overwhelm, maximize your action, and support you as you chase your dreams while doing all the things. You don't have to just settle for being the way you are. One of my least favorite sayings is, oh, that's just the way he is, or that's just the way she is. You know them, you love them. The one who's always got something negative to say, the mean one, or the one all up in everybody's business when they should be tending to their own. The one that for whatever reason we dismiss their behavior by saying, that's just the way they are. Well, we all have a thing like that we are known for. That's just the way we are too. But let's pause and consider, am I proud of this thing that I'm known for? Do I really want to be known for that? What do I want to be known for? Am I aligned with that? Am I showing up that way? If the answer is no to any of these questions, what do you need to do to change that? How can you show up the way you want to be known for? Set the intention for who you want to be and how you want to be. If you are known for being a little spicy or saucy, it's up to you to determine if that suits you. If you are good with it, fantastic. But if you are hot like an inferno, a ghost pepper, or just too muy caliente for your own self and it's no longer suiting you, you can make a change. Sometimes we outgrow things like clubbing. Back in my heyday, honey, I was like 50 Cent. You could find me in the club every weekend. I was up in that thing with my girls like Ice Cube. We be clubbing. Now you'll find me all up in the new mall, which is Target, and excited about what houseware items or things I can pick up on sale that I didn't even know I needed until I was there. The things that we get excited about as adults. I went from weekends of clubbing to quiet weekends of doing nothing, exploring, or just hanging out with family and friends. It's not so much that we outgrow things on purpose. It can be a natural progression of things. Whether it's intentional or not, don't be afraid to outgrow things that no longer excite you or suit you. Trust me, nobody wants to see these old knees in the club every weekend. Pause and check in with yourself. Make time to just chill with yourself and be quiet. You have way more answers than you give yourself credit for. When you can just be still, you give yourself the opportunity to see what resonates with you, what feels good to you, and what doesn't. The new you is trying to evolve, sometimes without you even noticing. But if you take the time to meditate and journal, you grant yourself the gift of making way for more of what is for you in this season of your life. It's with these insights, you can make a plan for the things that you need to do to actually show up as the person you want to be. Staying with this theme of positivity, what are some things that you can do to be more positive? Can you see the glass half full more often? Can you see the blessings that surround you throughout the day? Can you crack a smile a little more often? Maybe even giggle a little here and there. To gradually set these things into play, are there certain things that cause you to see the glass as half empty? What are they? Explore them. How can you flip the script on that? Can you set a time throughout the day for gratitude? Can you connect with a friend or loved one that makes you smile or laugh uncontrollably? Maybe you're not getting enough of that in your life. Look at the pattern, because there are certain things that often trigger the negativity. If work is a trigger, what can you build into your day that helps you handle the workday better? It might even sound silly, but are you taking a break? Some people out here going hard in the paint. Just working 10, 12-hour days without a break, and then wonder why you feel depleted. I can speak on this because I used to skip lunch all the time. No wonder I didn't have any energy. I wasn't fueling my body. Now I don't let myself go past a certain time in the day without eating. Not only is my mood better, but I'm also not short fused because I'm not hangry. When you can better plan for situations, you have a better chance of handling them the way you truly want to. And this is how you create new reactions that align more with who you want to be. At the end of the day, you'll be so proud of the way you handled things with grace, dignity, and respect, than having to go back and apologize later on. Ain't nobody got time for that. So as you begin to recognize more of the things, the ways of the old me used to do, and act like the new me, not only will you show yourself that you are capable of change, but you'll be building your new identity with yourself as who you truly want to be. Let me just pause for the cause right here and address the elephant in the room. Maybe, just maybe, you're thinking, I'm not like you. That's fine for you, but I can't do that. I've always been this way. Or you know it. This is just the way I am. So I say to you, I wasn't always like me either. I had to work to get here, and I work every day to improve. Self-improvement is a way of life for me because all I will ever have control over is me. I don't have control over my partner, my kids. Contrary to popular belief, we don't control them, y'all. They got their own brains. I mean, for real. But we don't have control over anyone, not our family, our friends, strangers, you name it. All I truly have control over is myself. Self-improvement isn't just something that you do once or twice and think you're going to see or keep having results. Trust me, if I could work out one time and be fit, I think I can speak for all of us when I say we'd all be doing that. Just like being healthy is a lifestyle, a string of habits you do regularly, self-improvement is something you practice, keep tweaking, and improving upon daily. Because I want the best results I can get, right? You may not be like me, and I don't even necessarily want you to be like me. I want you to be like you, but the best that you can be. This is your life, your one life, your journey. It wasn't easy for me either to make the changes and adjustments that I've made. You didn't see me late nights or super early mornings, the sacrifices or the pain that I went through that drove me in an unmarked Uber to this destination. I am not saying that what I've recommended you to do is going to be easy. I will never promise you it will be easy, but I can promise you that it'll be worth it because you are worth it and the life you want to live is worth it. Find the woo for you. You can do this. I'm living proof. Anyone living a life that has made it anywhere has had to pay some sort of price to get there. We are all human beings. We may not live in the same zip code, shop in the same stores, or make the same amount of money, but we all breathe air. We all bleed. And we all have a heartbeat. Because we are all human, you have a chance. You don't have to be the way you are forever. You can change because you want to, not because you're being forced to. I've heard so many thought leaders like Tony Robbins and Brendon Burchard talk about the only two reasons we change is because you want to or life forces you to. Drive your own change. Don't let other nouns, the people, places, or things determine for you when and how to change. You can stay the way you are if that makes you happy. But let me ask you, are you happy with who you are and where you are? If you are happy within your own skin, it's okay to stay. And if not, it's okay to grow. Remember, growth is gradual. No Chia Pet results. You won't instantly turn into a new version of you overnight. But when you set the intention and back it up with habits on repeat, you ignite the path of evolution and keep it lit. Encourager, I hope you enjoyed this episode. My deepest hope is there was something in here that sparked something within you. Maybe it's a new something, or something that has been lying dormant for a while that's reignited. If you find yourself like the old me, full of complaints and seeing everything through a negative lens, I encourage you to try on some positivity. You can feel better as you move throughout the day, putting your faith foot forward and living out the life you may have thought you could only dream about. Don't let negativity steal anything else from you. Maybe it's costing you your time and precious memories with kids, your family, and friends. And you may not even recognize it. Maybe it's costing you your health, success, or other valuables you feel like are not possible for you. Trade in that negativity and choose positivity. Your highest self requires it, and so do those around you, because energy is contagious. We need to be more conscious of the energy we bring and put out there. There's enough negativity going around. So be the positive. Be the light. You can choose positivity even when it doesn't choose you, because you are worth it. You can encourage over your positivity, because together we can encourage over everything. Thanks for tuning in. I would absolutely love to hear from you. Please take a moment to leave a review. All you have to do is rate by lighting me up with some stars and leave a few words. If you share this episode, let me thank you in advance for sharing positive messages, because we all know some peeps in our lives who could use an extra dose of encouragement. And I'm throwing virtual confetti right now to celebrate you for finishing this episode. I don't know about you, but I'm not ready for this to end. So if you want more, check out theshow.encourageovereverything.com for literally all things Encourage Over Everything. Stay connected and join the email list. Get that VIP treatment by being the first to know all the happenings and get encouragement sent right to your inbox. Theshow.encourageovereverything.com has everything that you're looking for, from show notes and all of the info on today's sponsors. And if you are looking to connect with other fellow encouragers, be sure to join my exclusive community at the Encourage Over Everything Facebook group. I can't wait to connect with you in the next episode. Remember, there isn't anything that we can't get through, because together we can encourage over everything.